Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is for attracting a Leo lover. As I've been saying with all of these, one of the things I would remind people is that it's not about becoming what somebody else wants you to be. You really have to have some of these traits within yourself in order to be an authentic partner to the Leo person. So you could probably try to emulate what you think they're attracted to, but eventually your real self comes out and the Leo person is disappointed because it was false advertising. You pretended to be something you're not. Interestingly, if we look at the rising sign, that can be a form of false advertising if it's very different from the sun sign. So if, let's say, you have a sun in Cancer and you have Leo rising, you may actually give off a lot of the same traits that we associate with the sun in Leo. And yet, the Cancer part of you is more of your core personality. The rising sign is more of how you present yourself to others. And that might not be who you are at all. So with Leo, we're talking about being larger than life. Leo is a fixed fire sign. The fire energy is the larger than life quality. The other fire signs are Aries and Sagittarius. All of these signs are associated with expansion. You think about a fire, how it totally consumes that around itself, and it constantly spreads, and it can spread quite quickly. In terms of the symbolism of what that involves, we're talking about someone who really lives life passionately, and they feel very strongly about things, not in the same way the water sign person does, however, but they just engage life in a very active way. And Leos want to leave their mark, make their mark in life. They want to be seen. They want to be the center of attention. And the more balanced Leos do not require this in a compulsive way. They may channel that need in the form of creative self-expression, especially performance, where you are actually on stage. You know, if you're an artist and you have an easel and you're locked in a room or you're just closed up in a room, you're not in front of anybody. So usually Leo likes to be in front of a live audience. And if that isn't possible, maybe on YouTube or something like that, where they can constantly get that feedback about their performances. And they like to do things very big. So this can involve a lot of free spending. That's one of the things I haven't been including in some of these readings is the money angle. And I have been remiss in not doing that, because money is a bone of contention in a lot of relationships, as you know. But I guess we're talking about the initial stages. So that's more about how to get along with the person long term. That's not one of the first things. But I will say that with Leo, they are free spending. So if you are a cheapskate, you better hide that big time, because that's the one area I'll say be a phony about, and learn how to be more free spending. Because let's say you're the one taking out the Leo on a date and paying for it, and you have coupons. What do you think the Leo person's going to say? Unless they have a lot of Virgo in them, they're probably going to feel that you are totally tacky. Think about the tarot and what cards symbolize Leo. One would be the Strength card. That's a direct connection, even up to the lion with some of the depictions. But also the Sun card, which the Sun rules Leo. But let's talk about the Strength card, because that's what I was really going for. The Strength card is about confidence, inner strength, which confidence is one of them. And also self-esteem, which I guess is where you get confidence, right? And so a Leo person feels that they are worth it. They're worth spending a lot of money on, or they are very generous. They're going to spend money on the person that they care about. So if you're somebody who wants to kind of tamp down that tendency in the Leo, they're going to think that you're rejecting them, that you don't think that the relationship is worth celebrating in terms of, going to nice places and doing sometimes over the top things. Leo lives large. They're larger than life, so they tend to kind of broadcast things. That narcissistic tendency that some people associate with Leo is not going to be always with all Leos. That's not the case. Some Leo people who are balanced, they know to give attention to others and to shower them with affection. I honestly can't think of another sign that is warmer overall than Leo. Of course, it's ruled by the sun, so it should be, shouldn't it? So because of this, if you are a cold fish, I'm going to name names here, but I'm just talking about the archetypes, maybe not you personally. If you're a Capricorn, even Aquarius, the opposite sign of Leo, and the complementary signs sometimes get together. This can be off-putting to Leo. They may actually take that as a reflection on them and how you view them. You have to be able to convey your affection in some way that is meaningful for the Leo person. If you're not a touchy-feely person, I don't know if you're going to survive this relationship, because they really do thrive on that kind of physical contact and also just that sense of affection between people. So be mindful of that at the very least. Getting back to generosity, though, generosity is not just about money and spending it. It's about generosity of spirit. Leo is known as a noble sign. So their pride is very much important to them. Anyone who demeans them, they will remember that. And anyone who tries to marginalize them, ignore them, put them down, keep them down, is somebody that is going to be on their you-know-what list, because Leos are, some people go, oh, well, that's because they're egotistical. No, they extend this to other people. They do not like other people getting demeaned. Yes, there are imbalanced Leos who live in their shadow, who tend to be bullies, and they will do those kinds of things like demean others. And there can be Leos who are snobs, who act like they're in the A list and other people are on the D list. But in general, a balanced Leo person will be appalled at anyone who is overly critical of others and puts down other people, put down artists. All fire signs are positive, or that is their normal default position. Only if they're bitter in life and things like that will they tend towards not expressing that. So if you are not a positive person, you had best, get to stepping, because they're not going to like that. They want to feel inspired by others, just like they inspire other people. And if you're kind of a Debbie Downer type of individual, if you're always complaining, if you're the victim, if you are seeing the glass half empty, pessimistic, that's not going to fly with a Leo person. They may try to cheer you up at first. They may try to get you to see the bright side, but then eventually it'll affect them and they're not going to appreciate that. So I'm talking to you specifically if you are a Virgo for criticism, for negativity or just negative emotions, Pisces and Cancers. For pessimism or cynicism, Capricorn. And for cynicism as well as kind of this, I can't say it any better, scorpionic mentality, Scorpio. It's in a league of its own. But, Scorpio people can be very noble as well. I'm talking about the shadow aspects and how they affect a Leo person. And actually, Leos and Scorpios are magnets to one another as fixed signs, even though their basic temperaments might be wildly different and even incompatible in many ways. They do have certain things that attract one to the other. So that is an important thing. But if the Leo person feels that the Scorpio person is not a good influence, then they may distance themselves. That brings up a good point. One thing you have to understand about Leos are known for loyalty. So if you're the type of person who doesn't really value loyalty, or you don't think that we owe anything to our relationships, that we are free to change them at a moment's notice, Gemini, I'm speaking to you specifically, and it's not seen as some kind of major betrayal or anything like that, the Leo person may feel that you're wrong about that. But really, we have to get down to the nitty-gritty on this. And this could be more about Leo being a fixed sign and just, in some cases, being adverse to change. So it might not be that the Leo person is really in love with their partner. It's like an undying love. They may kind of secretly know that the love is gone, but they still can't bring themselves to make the move, because as fixed signs, they tend to be very concerned with continuity. And so a relationship's longevity matters to them. Whereas for other signs, that's not really, some other signs don't care about longevity. They care about the constant state of the relationship being stimulating and being viable. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and take care. Bye.